Should you race your Genesis horse? Absolutely. In my opinion, I love racing horses. I think that even if you do race a horse, if it's a Genesis horse, you will hold value and essentially not lose any value on that horse. But also, having said that, let's talk about both ends of that coin, because that's just what I do. It doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. To talk about the two options, you've just picked up a Genesis horse. You've just picked up one of your first horses from the drop. Should you be racing it? I do believe you should, but on the other side of the coin, there is going to be a high demand for unraced, unbred Genesis horses in the future, and you will be able to get a great return on those horses. And we've seen it already. We had the Z1s triple in price almost, and so, or is it double in price? When all of these Genesis horses are completely gone, all 38,000 of them, what we will see is that we will see the market take control of these prices. And when that happens, as more Genesis horses get raced, the pool of unraced Genesis horses will diminish, and then therefore they will gain in value naturally because of that. On the other side of that coin, if you do race that horse, in my opinion, you have an opportunity to find the Ducky Melons, the Breathless Edges, the Danks, the, who's Good Boy Racing got, the Rendezvous Peaks, etc., of the world, the Zombie Boys, all of these horses that mean so much to the community. If you never race your horse, you'll never have that opportunity. I do see the value of those horses exponentially outweighing the value of the unraced ones. Now, if you do race it, you may have a situation where you could have got more value out of that horse if you left it unraced and unbred, so that you have to be mindful of that. If it turns out to be a donkey or just not a good horse, you need to be able to live with yourself knowing that could potentially happen. But having said that, for me personally, I would regret selling a horse unraced for what would be dirt cheap a lot more than the flip side of that coin. So what I mean by that is, if I get some unraced horses and just hold them and then sell them in a few months' time for a great profit, if that horse then went on to become a Ducky Melon or another champion horse, I would regret that more over testing my horses and then potentially losing out on the unraced side. The Silkies of the world. If you never race, you can never get 5%. It'll always be 0. So is there a reason to leave a horse you plan on breeding unraced? Until we understand the breeding more, which we are still so far away from understanding, in my opinion. There's a lot of people that need to do a lot of testing and then a lot of data digging into understanding this further. So until you actually put that horse in the race, in my opinion, you don't have an answer of whether or not that horse is good or not. Just because it produces good offspring does not mean that it's a good racehorse. Will it hurt its value in the future? Again, if you come back to unraced and unbred, I have some horses that have only raced and haven't bred yet, and I actually hold them at more value as unraced, unbred if they're a good racehorse. So how many races would you say the minimum? I think at the moment, with the variance in odds and competition and horses working through the grades, especially after a drop like this or when breeding's open back up, I think that it's actually quite important to answer this question across how long you test this horse out for as well. I would be racing this horse and looking for odds around 10s or below, up to 12s, maybe 15s. And I would be honing in on those odds to see if they were actually correct or not. If that horse continues to get 10s, 12s below, I will continue to race that horse. And I'll be monitoring those odds at those distances for forever. When a horse starts to blow out their odds, I do two things. I put that horse on ice, I take a step back, and I come back and reassess it and see if it was just horses working through the grades, or if that horse has now potentially been essentially classed out, or it's no longer a relevant racer, and I put that into breeding barn, or I'll do something else with it. If my horse is settled into a class, what's an acceptable odds? Yeah, I think below 13s, I'm racing. Maybe 14s, depending on the horse. But I need to see it consistently there. If it starts to blow out, then it's on ice. Look, non-investment advice. I didn't read that part. So what I'm going to say is this. I'm going to use history versus to answer this question, if that's okay, and just what's happened. For me personally, I got back into cryptocurrency because of Zed. I got burnt a couple of times in the past. I got back into it. I'm going to use AUD prices, if that's okay with everyone. When I got back into it, Ethereum was $500 per Ethereum. And I invested over a period where it was between $500 to $800 AUD. And so I think that's like 350 to 500 USD, there and thereabouts, maybe a little bit more. And so obviously Ethereum has 10x in that price, in that time frame. It is fair to say that if I had kept my money in just Ethereum, or even Matic for that point, that I have made more money in Zed, and a considerably larger amount if you look at the value of my stable in current prices. The utility in Zed makes it more attractive to me. I'm not pulling money out of Zed to invest directly into Ethereum or Matic. I have started sort of diversifying into other NFT projects at startup level, in drops and that sort of stuff, because I do need to diversify. I can't have all of my crypto holdings in Zed like it currently is. I think that's not a smart investment. But if I was getting into it now, I don't know the answer, but knowing what I've had, I would probably be going into Zed, and I would be going in pretty bullish. I think that if you look at where Zed's going to be in 6 months, yes, we could see Ethereum jump up to 10K, 20K, who knows? Like, the sky's the limit. But I have a lot more belief in Zed than anything else. And I think that your earnings right now, you are still super early, into this game. So that's it. Hope that's answered your question. The number one reason there will always be a supply and demand is because as people continue to breed horses and find better horses, older horses have less utility in the current landscape, and therefore people will be striving to breed better horses. Now, do I think that every horse should be sold and will be sold? No. Do I think that people will continue to learn about Zed? Absolutely. I think that Zed could potentially have 1 million users on it if they fix. I don't know if there's a way to fix this or not, but how do we keep it mainstream? How do we make it easy? How do we get all of the crypto jargon and crap out of it without decentralizing it? I don't know the answer to that. But whilst there's people like me out there trying to continue to breed better horses, then that means that other people are trying to build better horses. The competition in Zed is huge. Everyone wants to have the best horse in the platform. Everyone wants to be competing. Everyone wants to be making Ethereum. And whilst that opportunity is there to breed and grow and make better horses, then that means that that will happen. And whilst that's happening, it means that other people will need to go with the platform and not get left behind. Favorite horse color is purple violet. What's it called? The purple violet one, or chartreuse, outside of the super rares being Gainsborough and Papaya Whip. Look at my retard dog. What are you doing? He's not happy about something. What are you doing? You want to come say hello? Come on. He's just chilling to see what's going on. Yeah. Thank you for everyone for the cheers. And if you subscribed on this stream, again, it's very much appreciated. it helps grow the stream and do things for the stream and essentially fund the stream so I can be here to give information back for you guys. It's in no way what I'm focusing on as a monetization from Doofy Racing. This is an opportunity for me to speak to you all because I don't really have an opportunity to do it in DMs anymore. And it's a great public forum. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks heaps. Really, really appreciate it to everyone who stopped in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.